Who is ready to have some random fun today, my friends? We are back with episode 150. That's a cool, clean number. I didn't even look at that. 150 of the Doctor's Orders live stream featuring the Dr. Nick's beard product, body product, lifestyle, whatever the heck you want to call it. You can't put it into a box. You can't put a name on it. It's kind of like somebody asked me, I talked about it on stream, but somebody asked me, they're like, what's your career? I'm like, I don't know. I'm not sure what the phrase is. I don't like the term influencer. I don't love the term content creator because that doesn't encompass like 15% of what I do. I was like, I don't know. And they're like, just say independently employed. I'm like, cool, that'll work. Like that one. So it's the same with this company. Do they make beard products? Yes. Do they make body products? Yes. Do they make head hair products? Yes. Do they make merchandise? Yes. Do they make lifestyle, just approach and vibes and community and live streams and content? Yes, all of that. So it's a great company is what it is. Just simply a great company. And this live stream is designed for you guys to take a peek behind the scenes, whether it was a couple of weeks ago when Nick and Jill gave a tour of their facility. Don't miss that one. We're still getting comments on that video, which is really cool. But go check out the tour of the facility. Or if it was the week after where you took a tour of the woodworking facility. Or if it's like today where just simply we're going to have some random topics that were selected. This is so weird, Nick, by the way, by AI. Now, and I say it's so weird because I set the show up well in advance, of course. 5 minutes before Nick and I got on here, he sent me a video that was, he said, watch it till the end and then tell me what you think. Ends up being that it was from AI, and we'll talk about it, but it was close. It was close, but of course, I choose AI today for the first time in weeks or months that Nick sends me an AI video. That's just how we work. But we're going to have some topics and some discussions that are going to be absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. And Alicia says, Dan, we are content creators. We have to embrace it. Shivers. I will say, Alicia, that is my go-to. I will never say influencer. I don't like that. Like, I feel like that has negative connotation. I'm not trying to influence anyone. I'm trying to educate and inform, but I do make content, right? And so I think you're right, Alicia. That is pretty dang fair right there. So if you guys could, on your way in, if you appreciate this free content from these content creators on screen, Nick's content creator, he's got some great content out there. Hit a thumbs up on the stream. Just check if you remembered, and then share it out. There will be topics today that everyone will be able to relate to. Everyone, bearded, non-bearded, men, women, share it out, and I promise they'll have some entertainment. And hey, maybe before this show is super big and famous, like we know we will be one day, you guys will be on the ground floor and we'll be shouting you out in front of millions. And Vaughn says, love seeing the Dr. Nick's facility. It was awesome to see the behind the scenes. Thanks for allowing us to see that. Super cool. Super cool. All right. So that's me, Dan, starting the show, co-host. Let me kick it over to the man with a pin or two in his bun, a stylish hat, and then the shirt. Is that one of the local breweries that you guys partnered with? Is that their logo?
No, it's Levitate. It's the Levitate surf shop down at the end of
surf shop.
Yeah.
I knew it was local.
Shop / coffee shop now / Mexican restaurant / music venue / music festival host / now food chain entrepreneurs. So those guys are cranking. Talk about like a cool little brand.
Mexican restaurant?
Oh yeah, Rexicana. They got like they're slowly taking over the little center they're in, and now they have like this little backyard venue with a stage, and you can get food while you're there from this place. It's like Rexicana Cantina or something or other. It's crazy what they're doing. And you know what? Quick sidebar. This is great. Welcome to Doctor's Orders. This is how it goes.
Yes.
So this story of this brand right here, I just love it, is that this guy owned a skate park in Marshfield, a skate shop. And so he owned a skate shop in Marshfield. This guy worked there. This guy, Danny, worked there. His kid, he was in his late teens, I guess, early 20s when he started. And so the old guy that owned the skate shop was going to retire, sold the skate shop to the kid, Danny, that now owns it,
Okay.
Levitate. And so then he petitions with the town and takes this gifted charity donation that this guy wanted to see that go to the youth of Marshfield for a skate park. They petitioned to the town to make sure the skate park ends up going in right behind the skate shop. So the skate park goes into an empty parking lot that's now adjacent to the skate shop. So he's got like built-in clientele in town, funded by the town, by the way, not by the skate shop. And then, so literally the town took the charitable donation, built the skate park as a gift from the town from a charitable donator, this guy, Uncle Bud. And they built it and attached it basically to this kid's skate park. So he was like, I got a job at a skate shop. Oh, sick. I bought a skate shop. Oh, sick. They built a skate park out back in my skate shop.
Whoa.
Oh, sick. I'm going to start doing surf lessons. And then next thing you know, it's like surf shop, surf lessons, skate camps, surf camps, music festivals. And he's like, well, the people next door are moving out. So I'm going to buy their space. I'll turn it into a coffee shop. So now it's like busiest coffee shop in town. He's like, well, the people next door to that lease is in. So I'll get that. And they like moved out of the hair salon. That turned into a Mexican place that now caters all of the shows at the freaking backyard little venue thing. And it's like
feeds itself.
Yeah. And like sometimes I feel like I must have like run over a gypsy and not collected like the right amount of tears or something to prevent like the lifelong curse. And you know, that's kind of like I feel like what I'm walking around with sometimes. And I feel like this guy had the opposite. Like he slipped and fell and lodged a horseshoe somewhere uncomfortable, but like just left it there. And like he's just just kind of like, oh, oops. Like everything this guy touches just works.
The skate shop had existed, been existing. He buys it. There's no signs of a skate park.
No, sir.
Being built.
No.
It's like having a beard product store, right? Where you manufacture, but maybe you have a storefront. Then all of a sudden they're like, you know what? We're going to put in just an upscale men's barber shop right next door, adjacent to you. Yeah. And on the other side, like a leather working men's goods store. And they're just going to be on both sides of your beard product store.
Yeah, exactly right. It'd be like if you like bought a failing convenience store from like someone retiring, you bought it, and within like the first like year, they decided to put a commuter rail station across the street from your convenience store. And you're like, oh, sweet.
What in the world?
Like,
But also, how much time does he have? Is like he must be a master delegator. That's a lot of stuff.
Oh, so he's built a hell of a team around him. His wife is like a shrewd businesswoman.
Okay.
She's really good. No. So like Danny still shows up with like, mesh trucker hat, backpack on, little fragrant, usually kind of a little off schedule. People that are around him kind of keeping him on track, but he's got a charity foundation now that keeps him on track pretty good. And he's got a bunch of really high-end surf instructors that keep him on track pretty good. And a general manager and a restaurant manager and an events manager.
Keeping him on track. So there, you got some parallels there. We just got to find the horseshoe and we got to shove it.
Well, yeah, that's exactly right. You know what?
Yeah. Maybe when you're under for your next operation, like, hey doc, just real quick. He won't even know.
If that's what it takes, listen, I don't even need to be asleep.
Oh, man. And then also the mic drop moment of the stream. I was like, I don't like to be a content creator. Alicia's like, Dan, I don't like it either, but we are content creators. Your mom steps in for a Kill Tony 10 seconds and says, I'm a Nick creator.
That's amazing.
That is true. True.
Vicariously, basically content creator, right? I mean, that's like, you made the thing that made the thing. So technically you made the thing.
Your content wouldn't be there without the creator. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's a Russian doll situation if I ever heard of one.
Yeah. Leo, what were the plans that we didn't get to last week? I'm not remembering. So I know you'll refresh us. Nick, do you remember anything?
Uh-oh.
I don't. I know we had fun and it went way too fast.
What was the topic last week? Maybe that'll jar my memory.
I'm not even remembering on that. Let me see, because that's a good question. All right, so last week was since retiring and new promotions.
Yep.
Okay. So, yeah, we talked about Number 21, Sweet Smoke and Campfire, guys, is still the scent of the month and is marked down 10% off. We talked about Dr. Nick's launching a giveaway program for one giveaway for random order every month. We talked about the other scent that's going away, which is what was the other one going away? We have Sweet Smoke.
Key lime pie.
Key lime pie. I don't remember the left off plans.
I don't either. But speaking of Leo, whenever I see Leo in his stylish glasses, it makes me think of glasses. While he's drumming up what we didn't do right, don't know the specifics, but Jill might. I asked her if she would be a part 2. She said yes. I don't know. Well, you know what? That sounds like a Jill problem to me. Jill, you started it.
No promises here. And is it Dan's birthday today? Everyone's saying happy birthday, Dan. Happy birthday, Dan.
Oh, happy birthday, Dan.
Not me. The other one, the one before me in the alphabet, Dan B.
Dan is, if I'm not mistaken, on vacation for his birthday out in California right now.
Yeah, Vegas, California. I think he.
Sorry, blowing up your spot, Dan. Hope you're not in the witness protection program vacation plan.
He's in Anaheim. He's staying at Suite 7 on whatever it's at. So okay, and then hey, right here. Dynamite says, I'd like to give a shout out to the amazing customer service from Nick, Jill, and team. The issue was fixed very quickly, and I was able to try peppermint bark, which is in beard today. I'm loving it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Awesome, man. Love that. And guys, I talked about this on a stream of mine recently. I've been guilty of this. We've all been guilty of this. We're quick to give feedback when things are bad. We're quick to give feedback on a negative review. But when something goes well, it's just so much more like we just go on about our day. I appreciate, especially with these husband and wife owned companies where little bits make a big difference. I appreciate people stepping aside to share the positive experiences with things like customer service or the products that you're trying. So awesome. Okay. And first time with the peppermint bark. Yeah, sounds like it. All right. Vegas and in Bakersfield. Okay. All right. Very
people
cool.
Out in Bakersfield. I like that.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Dynamite waited till today to try it, to link it up with the stream. I love that. Awesome, Ty. Yeah, it's a great one. Absolutely great one. And then, yeah, of course, the Christmas in July is still going on. So if you guys want to try the Yule Tree or Christmas in July peppermint bark, they're out there as well. All right. Don't know what was included, but it didn't cover enough. How do you know it didn't cover enough if you didn't know what was covered?
Schrodinger's box of content.
No, I just really don't remember. I don't remember being left off on something, but hey, it's we get to talking, so when we get to gaggling, anything's possible. So I don't doubt it.
When these hens get to clucking,
you
don't know.
Yeah. So before we get to the wheel, though, Nick sent me a video today. Nick, what prompted you to send that? What are your thoughts on it? We didn't even get to discuss it outside of my reply. Tell the people the experience and the thoughts.
So I saw this. I was scrolling through Reddit and I saw this commercial pop up. It was just a video playing in the feed going by. And it was for Liquid Death, but it was like this dude with a mullet in an old car. And honestly, I was like, what kind of old cars that guy got, and so I was like, that's me. And so that's what kept me going. Then I realized it was a Liquid Death commercial. Then it kind of reminded me of the beginning. You remember that old Adam Sandler, Damon Wayans movie, Bulletproof?
I don't know.
If anyone ever saw that movie, it starts off with Adam Sandler passed out in his car with a bunch of beer cans in the passenger seat on the side of the road. And a cop comes up to the window and asks if he'd been drinking. And he looks over at all the beer cans, and then he looks over a little more, and you see a dog laying on the seat. And he's like, "Well, I had a couple, but I mean, the dog went to town. He's been drinking all night." And so, but it reminded me of that. So I watched it and watched it all the way to the end because it was amusing. And then I read the description, and it was Liquid Death made a commercial completely from AI. Watch here. And I was like, huh? And I thought it was a different one. But it was that one. And when I heard it was by AI, I was like, oh, okay, maybe it's pieced together stock footage, this and this and this kind of thing. And nope, it is 100%. There is nothing on that commercial shot with a camera, a lens, a light, or a person.
Wow.
It's 100% AI generated based on text. So you
Wow.
can storyboard and the model they use to do it is available. You can like coming soon to a iPhone near you will definitely be an AI generated Dr. Next commercial because I can't help myself but to make one at this point. It's
Yeah.
going to be too much fun.
In my mind was like, whoa, kind of freaky. It wasn't fully there. There were a couple times where the police officer's mouth didn't link up with his words perfectly and a
Yeah.
couple of movements and stuff.
And then when
Yeah. But
his
it's
skin was
enough.
a little too smooth for an old policeman with that kind of facial hair and that kind of looked like Wisconsin. Like it looked like they were on the set of Fargo. And I'm
Yep.
like, that guy'd be a little more weathered.
Yeah. It is very interesting. But I think the more we do this, the more the human trait is going to be more valuable. And I'll give you an example. Right now, long form content is doing very well. Podcasts are amazing. Nick and I and Jill and many in the chat, we watch Kill Tony every week. It is a live podcast that's 3 hours long, and it's the biggest one in the world. It gets more views than short form content, short form comedy, because it went so hard in that direction and the jump edits and the cuts where everyone's like craving human connection again.
Yeah.
And this AI is going to really push the fascination and the interest,
Which is
but
great.
then it's going to be, how can you differentiate yourself from AI? Now, right now, if you're clip farming and like doing things that are like you're piecing it together and maybe doing compilations or reactions, you're in trouble because AI is going to do it better.
Oh, so much better. Like
You're
if
in
you're
trouble.
like to watch the 10 worst storms hitting shore in 2024 videos, like if that's what you do for videos, like AI is gonna be eating your lunch.
Yeah, the people that do like a continuous stream of like rain music and stuff, yeah, you're done. Like you don't have it anymore. But the people that need human traits, the people that need human experience and information, it's going to do well because people are just going to be like, all right, this feels right. I don't have to question it. But it's going to get to the point, especially for older people, where they're going to be duped. And obviously there's going to be scary applications of it, right? You've already heard of people doing like ransom and doing different things to use against people and calling them and using there's scary applications.
Oh, and there's like state actors now. They're like, they're like impersonating senators and like calling up other countries and talking about like trade deals and all sorts of deep fake stuff. But it's like, some of it's freaking cool though. And where I like it, as far as like the content side of AI is concerned, like, what it is? It's almost like, what it's going to turn into? It's going to be like the difference between going to like a gastropub and going to a McDonald's, right?
I agree.
Like fake food versus real food, like fake content versus real content. And is there a place for it? Of course there is.
Agreed.
And as Idiocracy, the movie, becomes more and more of a documentary that was just shot a long time ago, and Mike Judge becomes a prophet instead of a screenwriter, that's gonna, I imagine, work for like a big percentage of people too. Unfortunately, because a lot of people, just like a lot of people eat garbage out there, it's like a lot of people are going to consume garbage the same way, right? But you're right. There's going to be like that. There's going to be value to authenticity.
Yes.
There's going to be a whole market in validating authenticity and being able to prove it, right? I mean, and so there's a lot, just like anything, right? The market that gets consumed just creates new ones anyhow.
Yeah. Yep. No, it does. And it's cheap to make, but it's also cheap and easy to consume, right? If you're watching AI stuff, it's gonna be non-thought. It's gonna be just entertaining. And you're right, there is a place for that. There are people that want that.
Yeah, sure. Ask for every seat. But but on the other side of it, it's so funny you talk. It's not anymore even, but so like I just had a discussion about AI this morning with somebody because, I did the work of like probably 9 people yesterday because of working with AI and code co-pilots and working with a co-developer language model that I've been using for months that finally knows like my applications and knows what I do pretty well. Literally 9 people. I last time I had to do what I did, I quite literally hired a team of 5 people to help me with it. They were all terrible. None of them, I couldn't afford 5 people from the United States. So it's not like I'm taking jobs away from people. I had to outsource it to an offshore partner last time I did it. There was a huge language barrier. I didn't understand the people I hired, and who knows who the hell I was actually paying overseas and working with these guys. So it's like South America. And so, I look at like yesterday, instead of reaching out and waiting and creating a contract and going to hire a small team for 2 months, I literally just gave the whole description of what I was working on to a language model. And as I would normally be asking questions for code snippets and asking for, certain things to get created in the virtual environments I'm working on, I'm just asking for most of it from the language model yesterday. And it was helping me troubleshoot my way through some stuff. And this morning, it literally came out that it was like, wow, you literally got the work of like 9 freaking people done. And I had to promise people this morning it was all just me. I was like, nope, I'm the only one that touched it yesterday.
Yeah.
And so, you look at like just like the mechanical side of it. If you're like a developer or programmer, or even if you're someone who does deal with like lots of workflow with people involved, just sorting through data and looking through stuff and just finding patterns, looking for, underlying causes of things, reviewing log files. It's been really, really cool in that regard. So
yeah,
I actually haven't been working with any people this week at all, except for you. Like, you're the only human that I've worked with this week. And the only other humans I've interacted with this week are, I think, Jack and Jill and Alicia.
Interesting. Yeah. A lot of good points here. And Bruce City says, AI is ready to replace me at work. We use it for estimating. Whew. Yeah, make your human value known. And Baboon says, I see in the future there may be a disclaimer and requirement on AI generated videos and content. So YouTube does require it already.
Yeah.
Every time I upload a YouTube video, I have to select the box that says this is AI generated or partially generated or not. I think it'll be a step further in the very, very, very near future where you can, YouTube will have an algorithm that will detect automatically if something is AI or not. We already know in writing. If you guys ever feel like somebody writes you something in AI, just search like free AI detector and you'll plug it in. It'll tell you an estimated percentage and all this kind of stuff. So I think it will be automated in the very, very near future. And this, I think, kind of where AI is at right now, I think Leo's experience summed it up. He said a YouTube video, which was AI explaining the Air India 171 crash before the initial report, turned me away from YouTube, not to mention clickbait with outdated content. I think AI is going to lean more towards clickbait. I think it's going to lean more towards false, outdated information. And I think people will get caught. And then once they realize it, they'll have the ick and they'll be looking for it. And yeah, that's just how I kind of see it moving in the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of where it's at. And
like AI published I saw it yesterday. I swear it almost made it on Fox for like a second. Like I saw like a partial clip and they moved away from something. And there was videos about the new flooding that was happening in Texas when it got again.
Yeah.
And there was this whole video that went out on social media that got like millions and millions of views. It's like this happening again in Texas shot now. And then like after 2 videos that were the last storm, it started showing footage of like other countries' floodwaters sweeping away houses. Like it wasn't anything even related to Texas. And they were like 10-year-old video clips.
Yeah. It's freaky.
Like, oh yeah. And not to mention freaky. I mean, that's like, it's like merciless. It's like instantly trying to create traffic and a narrative off of a disaster,
and that's going to drive people away from it. And it's going to give it a bad stigma and stereotype. And it's like, we're kind of saying there's definitely positive purposes. You just have to know when and where. You have to know when you can't use it. So yeah. And Leo, I think he's mentioned this before, but he said AI told him he comes across as a prompt engineer. Nick, do you think that's worth pursuing?
Yeah, it's like a super popular new job. There's like whole teams of people now that are trying to figure out how to create appropriate prompts to get AI to do what they want. And it is an art, right? There's absolutely an art form to asking the right questions. Like, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, and ask stupid questions, get a stupid answer, right? That's like the way it always goes. and AI is definitely no different. So being able to there's language models for AI out there that you can tell it what you're trying to get another model to do. It will craft the prompt for another AI model for you based on what it knows of that model. So like AI will help you interact with other AI.
Interesting. And I like this. I've done something similar. Meta requires it too. Yeah. And one of the fun ones is to give a prompt for it to roast you and tell it something. So I just tried one. All right. Let's see for myself here. Didn't want to put anybody in case they weren't comfortable, but this is AI roasting me. I asked it to roast me in a family-friendly comedy style because we are on a family-friendly-ish show here. And so it says, buckle that beard down tight. This is going to be a warm lather and gentle trim. The follicle philosopher. You've got more beard wisdom than a wizard who's been trapped in a barbershop for 200 years. Your beard's so legendary, even lumberjacks stop chopping just to subscribe. You're the only guy I know who walks into a room and the beard gets announced first. Ladies and gentlemen, now entering the chin curtain of destiny.
That's
wow.
Fantastic.
This is your oil shelf looks like a chemistry lab. Your bathroom mirror probably thinks you're working for you too. Well, yeah. If someone asks you to shave your beard, you totally look at them like they just insulted your grandma and your beard in the same sentence. Okay. That's not, those are kind of like compliment roasts.
That's what I was saying. Like, it's like maybe bearded dad jokes edition next.
Yeah, right. So there are fun things, and it really is all about the prompt. Now, if I said go mean, there's probably a bunch that I couldn't really show right now. You know, they're going to do it. And so,
yeah. Speaking of mean, dear goodness, I'm sitting there. I was looking at, I commented on your Instagram. You were posting clips of like YouTube comments on one of the videos about like the Gibbs oil and stuff.
Yeah.
Because like
I thought it was good.
The funny part is like the comments that it's just so they don't agree with each other so badly. It's so funny because it's like, man, you can tell the city slicker beard from a mile away. Well, I don't have a big redneck beard like you, man. Maybe you need that special hillbilly oil. And it's like going back and forth. Like, it's like so funny. Some people are calling you a city slicker because your beard's trimmed. Some people are calling you a hillbilly because your beard's long. Other people are calling you that like you're sponsored for other people because you talk about how the carcinogenic output of silicones is bad for your skin. It's like, okay, no, that's facts.
It's so fun. That's
why I love hilarious. I was dying reading this the other day.
Yeah. Some people are like, good for you for posting these and being vulnerable. I'm like, I'm not vulnerable. These are just hilarious. Yeah. This is my favorite one's the first one. I'm a man. You could keep your blow dryer. And I come back. Nothing more threatening to a man than a hair dryer.
Yeah. Nothing's ever made me question my manhood like the sound of a small DC motor before.
Right. In the AI thing that we just did about it like being a compliment, but trying to roast me is the same as this bottom one here. I would never believe nobody with a perfect beard. Heck no. Oh, okay. Like, thanks. I think, you know, and yeah, somebody telling me, man, I've been using hairspray for years. My beard's thick. Maybe so it's just so funny. The person that's using hairspray.
Hairspray. Like, first of all, why are you putting hairspray in your beard? Like, is it like a mohawk or?
In telling me that it's because of beard products, like they do disagree. Yes. Don't use hairspray. And then can spot a city boy a mile away, and then there's like a famous like meme thing where it's like city boys, and so I hit him with that. And then where's the redneck one? So he says city boys, and then the hillbilly stuff.
You're full baloney. Yeah. It doesn't work for you because you're massive overgrowing, and maybe you need that some hillbilly stuff.
Unreal. And
so
here,
good.
Yeah, and it's like crazy, right? It's like you don't want to do a negative review. You don't want to do a critical review. But then you get stuff like this. And it's like, just check out the ingredients for yourselves, guys. Like, obviously, if this company wanted to work with me, or if I wanted to work with them, I could, but I clearly don't. And it's like, I'm telling you, these are full of silicones. These are full of petroleum products. These are things that I really don't believe you should waste your money on. And they're like, oh, maybe it's to promote other products. Yes! The ones that work, the ones that are good for you.
toxic
Yes.
crap in them.
Yes. Like this is so it's like such a wild world. And
You know what's crazy too? The stuff that you were talking about, they were just on the head of the USDA and Kennedy and like a bunch of other people were on the news yesterday with a bunch of ice cream manufacturers that are literally working all of those products. They're discontinuing artificial coloring in ice cream because of the petroleum and silicone that's in the freaking coloring. So like the same stuff that the USDA just made illegal to put in ice cream, like literally is the stuff that you're talking about not being good for your skin in those beard products. And it's petroleum and silicone.
And you're shoving it into your pores.
Of course it's
those ice cream ones, they cannot call them like drumsticks, I believe, right? Or the ones from Dairy Queen, the Duffy bars and stuff. They cannot call them ice cream bars. They cannot use the phrase ice cream. It's
dairy
like
treats.
Dairy treats or frozen dessert bar and different things because they cannot classify them as ice cream because if you set them out, they don't actually melt. They don't go away. They just, you know,
they just, oh, dude, they're so bad. Like, it's like I've been reading, I don't know what made me do it. Something last week made me look into like the artificial coloring world. And talk about loosely regulated. Holy crap. If you look at what we do and people are like, that's like the Wild West of cosmetics.
Yeah.
But then you look at what can be considered, like if you call something an artificial flavor or an artificial color, like the stuff that you're allowed to have in there is absolutely insane.
And the problem is, even when they ban it, which has happened, they just have the ability to change the name.
Yeah, they call it something else.
And it's not like it's not me just saying that. I know people that do that. Like it's that's how it happens. It's so crazy, so crazy. Good. So man,
I won't go into what else the USDA covered while they were talking about their adjustments to and their thoughts on people's diets and health and impact on our health system. But it's there's some good, some good changes coming, just working crap that's like the little mystery pockets of things that have just existed in our
natural
food
flavoring on your bubbly waters, where and there's literally no ingredients. And if you guys look up the standards of what it is to say natural, everything can be natural. There's no guidelines in the USDA. Now, organic is different, but there's still a bunch of loopholes, a bunch of garbage you can use to use the word organic. Yeah, it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. I went way too deep on that hole, and I regret doing it because it's up here forever now.
Oh yeah, it's the only way out is by not going into that hole. That's the only way.
And then real quick, Leo wants to know if he can reach out to you for guidance about the AI, but he says he could ask AI, but he thinks you might know more.
Oh, absolutely. Shoot me a note. And the only thing I'm referencing, Leo, just so you know, I'll give you the guidance I'd give you one-on-one right here so everyone else can get it too, is that I've just been seeing it all over LinkedIn on the job post. Like I don't know anybody specifically hiring for it. I don't know of anybody that's taken a role doing it. So I don't really know much more about it, that all of a sudden I've noticed that it exists. And if you look on LinkedIn, for example, and go to like jobs and look for AI and then sort for like, just look for AI jobs. It's amazing. One, the content world right now, the amount of content targeted at between 40 and 60-year-old people to teach you how to keep up with the kids in AI, like supposedly is like, oh man, talk about it's like the next .com boom. It seems like there's so much. Like
getting ahead.
Oh God. It's like, but there, you know what though? It's like, I've never seen, there's like this, it's a really weird narrative.
Yeah.
So I've seen the commercials on LinkedIn. I've seen them on Reddit. I see them all over the place. And it's a bored person or a bored cartoon character. They're always very like intentionally bored. Like they're like, these kids are talking about how AI is going to take everything over, huh? Well,
yeah.
Did you know that with 15 minutes a day, you can not even have to worry about any kid surpassing you in your job and taking over what you do for work? Well, I can show you how. And it's like this weird, it's like Daria. You know what I mean? Like it's very like just mellow. Like I don't know what it is, but it's like they're targeting the side of people's brains that like are trying to discount its importance in order to not be scared of it while still making it okay to be scared of it and learn more about it. Right.
Yeah.
It's,
Yep.
it's the weirdest thing watching happen. So Leo, no, all I'm saying, yes, absolutely. Reach out anytime you want. But unfortunately, I don't know a whole lot more about it than what you just said. Like AI says that I'm like a prompt engineer. And I'm like, the only reason I recognize that term is I'm like, oh crap, there's literally people out there hiring for prompt engineers. Like you could probably find a remote job on LinkedIn working for some company coming up with AI prompts to help them do whatever they're trying to do with AI.
Yep. I love these from Nate. As I was saying it, he was typing, can't even be legally called ice cream. They says, facts, Dan. And then as I was talking about, he was typing, then they just go and change the name and the color to hide it. So wild. He says, Dan, get out of my head.
Yeah.
It's like, exactly.
Welcome to the Borg. You're plugged in too, Nate. It's just, you know.
And JB, you're exactly right with this one. The company I showed earlier that has like silicones, if you go to like their Amazon listing, it'll say like fortified with argan and grapeseed oil. And they're the last ingredients on the list.
Fortified with. That should give it away. Like we have a standalone product that exists on its own, and we've enriched it with these vitamins. It's like, no, those can be carrier oils.
Yep.
Should have a lot of those.
Yeah, the dog. I have seen the dog that's like out there, and there's the same kind of tone that they deliver it with. You're right. They've figured out something that's like a frequency or a personality trait, and it doesn't work on me at all. Like I'm not interested one bit. I don't like people like
your
that.
Personality type would not fit with it, dude. I know what I'm catching on to it. Like it's trying to do the thing where like, you know, like when people say like I'm low key into that, like blah 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 blah.
Yes.
Like, you know, okay, play off of that vibe, right? People want to learn something, but if it's like going on like this like hyped up video about how you're going to change your life and you're going to crush results, blah blah blah, like you're not going to want to do that because that's not how you're going to approach that topic because you're not excited about it. You think the topic's stupid, but you know you have to learn it. So you want to learn it from someone who also thinks it's stupid and is going to degrade it while teaching it to you.
Then you feel comfortable.
And it's like, whatever, I spent $60 on it. It's like this stupid program. I might watch it like later while I'm like, I don't know.
Because if you don't follow through with it, I didn't even really care.
Yeah,
you know,
no big deal.
It's not even like
it's not even like a course outline. The videos aren't even numbered. They're just named.
It's not even real. It's not a big deal. No, I'm an all-in guy. Like I'm doing it. You're gonna hear about it. I'm gonna be hyped. I'm gonna be excited.
I want to wear the T-shirt while I'm doing it. I'm gonna be drinking like out of the souvenir cup while I'm watching it. Like I'm like all in. Like both feet. I'm gonna full wet. Like like I'm not testing the water first.
All right, I do have the wheel planned. I hope we get to it. If not, it'll be here. I promise, Leo, if we forget, we will work it in at some point. But I do have a question because I'm very conflicted on a topic, and I feel like this is a safe place here, you guys. And, okay, so there was an event local to you, and it was actually not super local, but East Coast. Are you familiar with like YouTubers that are First Amendment auditors?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So anybody that's not a First Amendment auditor is essentially somebody who goes to a public place, whether it is a police station, a post office, an office that is a government building, and they go around and they film from publicly accessible areas, which is your right. If it is publicly accessible, you have no expectation of privacy, whether you're an employee, whether you're a patron, whether you're out and about in public. But it's not normal, right? It's not common that somebody walks into the lobby of a police station and does this or that. But the rights are there. Sure. Now, I can see how that can be taken in some ways, right? They're provoking, but also there are people that get way too comfortable violating our rights, right? I've had a police officer try to take advantage of me before. I was driving home from an event, and I was driving through an apartment complex, and I rolled through a stop sign. Well, he pulled me over. Turns out you can't pull over people for a private parking lot with a non-regulation stop sign.
Complains, right?
And they made me do a sobriety test. I don't drink. They made me do a sobriety test. They made me do the alphabet backwards from a certain letter to another letter. I couldn't do it. I was sober as a gopher. I didn't even have a Mountain Dew, but I was nervous and I couldn't do it. They ended up letting me go when they realized I didn't do anything wrong. And also when I was like, hey, I didn't think that was actually a real stop sign. It was small and it was low. I didn't think that you'd be able to pull me over. So they ended up letting me go for that. So, but they tried to impression me that I was breaking a law. They tried to impression me by insinuating their authority on me. I just happened to know a little bit more. Well, all of that is to say, there was an event that just happened this last week on the East Coast where an auditor had an experience with a sergeant and had a history there. Well, he went and bought a billboard truck and played the video of this sergeant in his terms, not mine, assaulting him. And then he actually drove to that sergeant's cul-de-sac, publicly accessible, publicly available, parked that billboard truck. And then this is where I don't know how to feel. And I need your guys' feedback just so I can get food for thought.
Yeah.
This journalist, which he is, everyone, if you watch the videos, they're always like, where are your credentials? Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, we all are journalists. If we want to be, it's our First Amendment right.
Journalist is an activity, by the way, not a
right.
role. You are you're participating in journalism. You are not journalist necessarily.
Right.
When you are not doing that.
Yep. And so, and again, I get it, guys. I've been pressured unrightfully. We all know people that try to use their authority, but I also know how people can act if something's out of the ordinary and they're not used to it. Okay. So this journalist walks up to the sergeant's front door. And he does show the house on the video. He blurs out the address, but shows the house. That part made me very uncomfortable. And then he went to go ask the sergeant, who was a desk job sergeant now of firearm permits, is what he did, because allegedly he was a loose guy on the field and they didn't want him out there, so he had a desk job. Well, he wanted to question him and just simply ask about the $80,000 in overtime he received last year, which is all, if you're a public employee, all of your income is easily accessible with FOIA, Freedom Act, where you can request that info. Oh, yeah. And so he went to his door, just like journalists do, right? You know, they knock on people's doors, news broadcast, and went to ask him. The guy said, get the F off my property. And he said, okay. He starts backing up immediately. The sergeant goes in, gets his gun. As the guy is walking backwards, holding it, he ends up getting in his face, spitting in his face. And then the journalist gets arrested because they said disturbing the peace. They brought a bunch of different charges on him. And the police officer, the sergeant, was not, because in that state, it's actually Connecticut, in that state, they have a statute that if you spit on a police officer with bodily fluids, you are charged with assault. But if it's on a patron, there is not. It is not part of it. You need to have damage that was caused or potential. Now, you could argue that bodily fluids can transmit diseases, blah, 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 blah. But I don't know how I feel about this, because did he cross the line going to his house? Probably, but it's within his rights. Is the officer's response to this guy who he already had incidents with in the past showing up on his porch, is that warranted? How would I act if somebody that I had problems with showed up on my porch? And I just don't know how to feel on the situation.
So I guess for me, I don't know how to feel about all like the particulars, but I guess like and the good news is I didn't even know about this until just now. So like I've had no time to think about it.
Yeah.
As soon as you step onto another man's property and walk up to his house, you are subject to whatever that person feels like doing in response to that activity, in my opinion.
And not in the law, but in my mind, that's where I'm at too. Because I'm like, I don't want to be one-sided. I don't want to just say this. If you show up at my house and I already have a problem with you,
like
I don't know how I contain myself.
No, if you show up and I tell you to leave, like I want to live in a country where if I tell you to get away from my front door, I'm perfectly well within my rights to walk out with the biggest gun you have ever seen in your life and walk you to the end of my driveway and stand there and point it at you.
Right.
And that's where just where I'm at. Like, it's like, you know what? Should he be able to do that in public? No, like that's an authority figure. Like he didn't break a law. He's confronting you. You shouldn't be able to use absurd power against somebody out in public. You know what though? Like the place in my mind, the only place where it just kind of, it takes the point and it takes any impact out in my mind, I guess, is because you went up to his door, right?
Yeah.
Park in the cul-de-sac all you want, stand in the street all you want, stand there with the boombox over your head and play whatever you want to. I'm probably gonna try to annoy you back in a various number of ways. But at the same time, like, you know, you approach someone's door, you get on their property, you're kind of, in my opinion, opening yourself up to whatever somebody feels like is the appropriate response to that action.
I agree. It's just, how do you handle that when it's not the law, right? In
Right.
Texas or in Florida, you're applauded. You are celebrated.
Mm-hmm.
But on the East Coast, not
Oh,
so
yeah.
much, you know?
No.
And so Nate says, so the dude said the dude didn't say he would leave. He knew his rights, right? He knew the law. And so the guy said, get off my property. He immediately started backing up.
And if that's the case, then that's anything beyond, and in my mind, okay. And that's where it goes into where I do have a bit of a gray area, right? If someone's walking off your property and they are in an active retreat because you told them to leave, you've got your way, and you don't need to show any additional force past that if that person's leaving.
And he was unarmed. He didn't do anything. And then again, the sergeant told him to leave, goes in his house, gets the gun, comes out, and then he did spit on him. And there is a different statute for spitting on a police officer as compared to spitting on a normal citizen in Connecticut. And so I'm like so deeply like torn on that, because I'm like that same thing. I'm like, if someone showed up to my house and I have a problem with them, screw the law. And I mean that. I'm going to handle it my way. But also we have rights. We have like, it's just been like boggling my mind, because I didn't even look for it. It's just blowing up right now.
To be fair though, like if you are a civil servant of any kind, right? You've decided in your life that you like the idea of due process.
Right.
And you like upholding the law, whether you agree with it or not.
Good point.
Right. That's what you decided to do for a living.
You're a law enforcement officer.
Right. I, for one, am not a person who could enforce someone's system that I don't agree with.
No.
So that's why I am not in law enforcement.
Correct.
Right. If you choose that job and you choose to do that, I think it's a pretty bad look if you circumvent the laws that you're supposed to be enforcing in any way, I guess. Right. So,
yeah,
you know, if like, so to the points of like, how did it escalate if the guy said he was leaving and this and that kind of thing? And you know what I mean? And so like, if it's like you said, if it was the law, it'd be different, right? If you broke the law, it'd be different. But the guy like went up, he said something, he got the warning and told him to leave. So if you're the cop, right? Wouldn't I think the non-ment, you know, if you were a logical person, I think the response would have been to tell the guy to leave when he got off your property, immediately trespass, notify him. And if he should have gone back in his house to get anything, he should have, and in Connecticut, he should know his own law. And he should have gone back inside and gotten a piece of paper and give it to the guy and said no trespassing and handed it to him. And the guy set foot in his driveway, had him arrested.
Yep.
Right.
And
so like, if you want to follow the due process, do it. But like, you know.
And so I agree fully. And for clarification, guys, the police officer spit on the journalist. It wasn't the other way around. The internet, a lot of people are coming to the conclusion. So he's holding a gun. He's pointing it down. He never pointed it at him, to be fair. Mm-hmm. But the internet's take is and it was not like a talking spit. It was a on his face. And the guy had the mic on his hat brim.
It hit it.
You could hear it just absolutely perfectly.
In Massachusetts, that is assault. I know someone personally, and so does Jill, that was arrested for it. And there was no hands exchanged at all. It was a spit.
And it should be.
Someone, they got arrested.
Yeah, it should be. But here, Chris is right. He says if he was backing off and leaving, he was pulling a gun. Not only pulling a gun, he went and got the gun and came back and was not necessarily agreed. Spitting on someone should be assault. I agree, regardless of the profession.
Yeah, Alicia.
But then it's like, I agree with all that, but then I'm also like, I feel weird about him going on his property. And it's like, I think the conclusion for me is they both were wrong.
They were both wrong. Yeah.
Was within legal rights, but morally wrong.
Right.
And the other was just, he was legally wrong, probably morally, but I hate to say it, but kind of understand it. Again, I have my kids and my wife.
Yeah.
You know, I got my kids and my wife in the house, and I've already had a problem with you, and you're on my front porch, and it's a long driveway too. He walked a ways to get to his property, and you're already heightened because you're a police officer and you're getting all this. So it's just a messy situation, and I didn't know how to sort it out in my brain. So I appreciate this this discussion.
It's weird too, because you're right. It is so like in California, right? Oh, like this instant jail for the guy who spit on somebody else, right? Regardless if it's in his own property. And then you look in like Texas and Florida, and a sheriff would be like, well, at least he just spit on him instead of shooting him,
Yeah.
And
right.
That's the way it's like, well, he was on his property. So, I mean, like, at least he didn't decide to kill him. It's like,
Right.
that's kind of like where it would go in some laws, if like especially with the stand your ground law, like,
right.
It's like,
and
if that kicks in, you're like, ooh.
Yeah, the internet's probably right. Was the spit intentional to get him? I don't know if I finished my thought. To get him, to provoke him to do something so he could use the firearm against him, right, in a self-defense type situation? We don't know because it didn't happen. But let's say he spits on him, the guy swings. Is that looking for a reason to use the firearm? It's just, it was a morally messy situation.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Let's go. We got a few minutes here, and I at least just want to show like what AI came up with some like just really good topics. My prompt was create random tangent topics for grown bearded men to discuss. That's what I put, and here are some of the options that we have, and I think they're really good. I really like that.
Before we read this one, like, I love that response from that sheriff, by the way. She's got a gun, knows how to use it. You better watch it.
Right. And, okay.
The moment I knew I was getting older was.
Okay. Did you have that moment where you're like, oh, I'm 40 now, or whatever the case is, like something that stuck out in chat, of course, get involved here, that stood out in your mind?
Yeah, what, like today?
I do have mine.
Is this like which one has stood out over the past 784 days?
No,
or
what was
like,
the first? I'll give you my example. So mine was just over 3 years ago, and it was actually after we had a party to celebrate leaving teaching. I think I had 3 drinks that night. 3 drinks, and I'm a large human. I woke up with and I drink water. I know the sugar and all that, blah, blah, blah. I woke up with just a horrible, horrible hangover. And the last time I drank before that, I also had a hangover, and it just hit me. And I was like, I'm not 21 anymore. Like, I'm not getting up and just like revving and rolling and ready to go, or also like have the ability to lay in bed. I'm like, I'm to the point where I am older. Yeah. I just knew I was older from how that affected me.
Yeah, dude, that'll do it. I think the moment I realized, I turned 40. I turned 42 this year. So in September, I'll be 42, 41 now. And so I'd say sometime, I don't know. I think these things happened before I was 40, but I was always like, oh, why did that happen? That was stupid. I must have done blah, blah, blah at the gym.
Right.
And I think so after turning 40, I think the same things happen. And I'm like, oh, that's happening because I'm old. So, like last year, I spent like 2 weeks not being able to take a full breath because I dislocated a rib trying to pick up a glass of water off my nightstand while still laying down. Like, I didn't have proper active posture while like grabbing a thing of water. And so like sloppily, like reached, oops. And it was like weak, not being able to breathe right. Like, my doctor, now he blames everything that's wrong with me on the fact that I'm old. All of it. Like, oh, you turned 40. Oh, you're over 40 now. Hey, why'd this happen? Oh, you turned 40. Oh, you're old. That's why. And it's like, so, constantly. I mean, I felt old today I'm like having to do like modified workouts at the gym because I'm 2 weeks out from hand surgery and just discovered fibrosis in my bicep tendon. I'm like, tendonitis. It's old every day. Every day is a new reason you're old.com.
There we go. And there's some good ones out there.
Oh, dude.
Interesting. Okay. Hit that one. Let's run it again.
Yeah, Leo, that's just lazy medicine.
Yeah. All right.
Hot sauce loyalty. Oh, good thing we didn't stop there. That would have been a fiery discussion.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
All right. Favorite underrated snack that's elite. Like it doesn't get enough love. And every
That is
time
an
you eat it,
AI
you're like,
question.
God, this is good.
That is an AI question, isn't it?
Yep. Yep. Yeah. No, I didn't make any of these.
Favorite underrated snack that's freeze dried pineapple. Best thing in the whole world. And they know it's the best thing in the whole world because you get one big bag of it that's got 4 small bags in it that's got like 8 little pieces of pineapple inside of those each one. So it's like 32 pieces of pineapple per 10-ounce bag with like a decent wad of plastic because of it. Almost makes you want to buy a freeze dryer just to be able to do freeze dried pineapple.
I've never had that.
Oh, freeze dried pineapple is probably slapping. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Flaming hot Fritos all day.
Okay. For me, if I got to go with the one that I feel like doesn't get enough love, it should be just like everyone's had it, but it should be like mainstream for like the snack, the treat, just straight up chocolate covered peanuts.
Oh, chocolate covered peanuts are good.
Elite. Like I can trick myself and say that the majority of it is a peanut and it's not that bad for me. And it's so delicious. It's salty with the chocolatey. It's wonderful.
My favorite trail mix in the world is like where you have heavy peanuts and pretty decent amount of M&Ms in there. Like that's what you like. That's a good combo.
Yeah.
I mean,
all right. Real quick sidebar. This one I have to show this because we got somebody in the chat that this will relate to, and it'll kind of go back to our comments earlier. All right. So I made a post. If I can get this refreshed, I made a post this morning. This is so funny with the timing. So I made a post this morning. All right, so let me remove that so we remember. And let's go ahead and check this out. So this is my post here. No self-promotion, just for purpose here. And I had said about a deal that this company Volt is doing. Nick would love the owner. Great company, all that stuff. They were on Command's Corner yesterday, so I wore them. Well, today I posted a story on Instagram of me tipping the Yule Tree bottle upside down because I used it. My beard looks amazing, feels amazing. And so I put that to the story because that's what I have in beard. And so somebody said, how do you say you wear so much of their stuff, then post a completely different company in your story? So I said, because I wore it yesterday. I mean, I wear products every morning, every night. It's like just because I didn't wear it today doesn't mean that it's everything. But the name says Faceless Digital 79. 0 followers, 0 anything. And then I click it, and this just shows the internet at its exact purpose. If you see the logo up there, I don't know if Nate is in right now.
Whoa.
Yeah. So we talked about the hateful comments.
Faceless digital.
Exact. Like how much of a coward do you have to be to even just say I'm faceless, to even take a shot at a company that like, is absolute. I didn't tell you about that. Do you know who it is? No, this is my first run-in with this account. And interesting. We'll have to talk, Nate, but that just shows.
Oh, that sounds
internet,
like a winner of a story. I got to hear that too.
Right. To a
Group
T.
chat.
Like right there. Like we were just talking about online comments. That person is like, I'm even going to acknowledge that I'm a coward. I'm not going to show my face at all. I'm not going to be able to do this. And yeah, this is a crazy thought too. People get on me for this. They're like, you're allowed to use different products and support multiple businesses? I thought that was illegal.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah. And so it's just hilarious. Hilarious. So
oh, that's fantastic.
I don't know. Just thought I had to share there with Nate being in here. And then we were talking about mean comments, and it's like, you could do that while wearing Dr. Nick's today? Yeah. Yep. I would tell Nick about that company. I would tell Nick about that sale. Nick and I talk about Nate all the time. Nick and I talk about
I'm gonna do a video next.
North.
I'll be like, Johnny Ray, Nate from Johnny Ray sent me this awesome beard oil. I'm gonna give it a shot today. My beard feels great. Check it out. And people will be like, oh, you own a beard products company, and here you are using somebody else's products.
Right.
Be like, yeah, he's my buddy, and he sent it to me, and I like the way it smells. Thanks.
Careful. There's gonna be a new account where they change the N in your name to a D.
Please do, because I'll have AI make the logo for it and I'll supply it back to you for free.
Right. Can I help you do this better? Here you go.
Charge.
Oh, that is so funny. Okay, perfect way to end there, you guys.
Oh,
what a stream. What deep thoughts, what AI, what moral thoughts on this is what, if you're new here, this is what we do. Hopefully you enjoy it. Reminder, Christmas in July is going on. Reminder, the Sweet Smoke Campfire is 10% off for Scent of the Month, and it is going away. Once it is done, it is gone. Nick, anything else to tie up?
I don't think so, man. If you wear progressive lenses, why did no one tell me to tilt my monitors back like that a little bit? Like, flat or like tilted like this and tilted back. Just, you know what? If you have progressive lenses or you have like two different reading things, tilt your monitors back and then tell me about how you are living a different life by next week. Like, that's your homework after this one. Go tilt your monitors if you have progressive lenses. And also, if you just left it out with one of your other friends that's new to progressive lenses, like you clearly did with me, go spread the word.
Yep.
That was helpful.
Yep. I would never have crossed my mind. Very helpful.
No, me neither. So there you go.
Awesome.
See you next week.
All right, guys, we will see you next week. Have an awesome week. Stay amazing.